Hello, everyone. I am so excited that you are wanting to learn more about the Unconventional Women's Club. My name is Lauren Verrill, and I am your confidence and intentionality coach. And what I'm going to be doing throughout this call is I'm just going to be going over the high level of what the what the Unconventional Women's Club is, and then also what is a part of your membership. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at lauren@essentiallylauren.com, or you can send me a private message on Instagram at essentially_Lauren. Eventually I'll get my words right today. But we're just gonna go through this quickly, but also thoroughly so that you guys can feel confident to figure out if the club is the right fit for you. So, what is the club? The club is a community to support women in confidently choosing an unconventional life. In the club, you gain clarity in who you are outside of the roles that you hold, and it is a place of belonging where you are welcomed as the real you and given the tools that you need to live your own life confidently. And there are a couple of different things that are included, but one of the most important and most popular things right now for people that are joining the club is the vision board course. Now, this is something that you will have immediate access as soon as you sign up to become a member. And it is a self-paced course on how to create a tool, a vision board, that will take you through your whole year. But it's more than just putting pretty pictures on a board or like having goals or putting down what you think that you should be doing. And I really take you through a step-by-step process of how to create an intentional environment, how to carve out time for yourself and what that looks like. I walk you through a reflection section that has worksheets where you look and you see and you reflect on the past 12 months. I also want to put in here that a vision board is not only for January. What I find is that anytime that you find yourself in a new season of life, or maybe you are wanting to just get back in touch with yourself, a vision board and this particular process is the best way to do it. So even though right now, recording this video, it is June, it is the perfect time to do it. I actually just made mine for this year last week. So we have a reflection process, and then it gives you time to reflect on the past, and then we start looking towards the future. It is so important to do that reflection piece first because a lot of times things that have happened in the past, we end up taking that with us, and it hinders us from actually becoming the person that we were created to be, getting the most clarity on who we are and what we want to create in life. And so that's why we have that dedicated time for reflection. Then I take you through a visualization process that will help you to be able to really visualize who you are and what you want outside of the roles that you hold, outside of the expectations of others. And it is a really, really beautiful and special process. And then the last section is the creation process. So this is actually creating your board. And I take you through a really intuitive process of pulling different images and words out because you have a pull to them, not necessarily because of what is on the page. And it'll make more sense when you're going through the course. But then through that, I walk you through step by step of how to actually create a board. And what is the beautiful thing about it is that you end up with a tool that will consistently remind you, especially when you put it in a place that you see every day, it will consistently remind you of who you are in those moments that you visualized for yourself, and it will align your actions and your thoughts towards that person that you want to become. And so, like I said, it is a self-paced course. Honestly, when you become a member, you can just go back to the courses section that I'll show you in a second, and then you can push play, and then I will walk you through what materials you need, the time commitment involved, everything. So you won't even have to worry about getting everything ready before you even push play. And the reason why the vision board is so important is because the reality is that motivation will run out eventually. Like we have these grand plans of becoming a better person of who we are, of creating the life that we want. But the reality is just like with working out or eating well, the motivation runs out and we need support in order to help us keep going. And that is the overall feeling of the club, but more specifically also with the vision board is you will have a tool that you see every single day that will help you continue to move forward even when you lack motivation. And so the value of this actually is $499. So when I first put the vision board course out there before the club even existed, I was offering it for $150, even though the value is much higher than that, but it truly is a gift that is transforming so many people's lives. All right, and so the next components of the club are you have an online community that you have access to. You can think of it similarly to a Facebook group in the way that it is laid out that I'll show you in just a second. But really my vision for the club and for this community is that it would be women from all different backgrounds, all different belief systems, just so much variety in who we are and what we're chasing after. But the common thread is a few things. So the common thread is that we're all creating the life that we feel like is the most authentic version of us, and we're chasing after it. But it is also a community of women who is extremely welcoming and who we all are cheering each other on our own journeys, even if they're not the same. And when you have a community around you, a trusted community that really aligns with who you are and that you feel safe in, you will have so much more progress. You'll feel known, you'll feel seen, you'll feel like there is someone in this world that understands you and is also living a life similar to yours, which has been something that has been a struggle for me, which is why I created this community, is because when you brave the unintentional path, it ends up being very lonely sometimes unless you have found your people. And so my hope is that these are your people. It is a quick and easy way to find your trusted community. And the value of that is it is priceless. You can't even put a price on that. So what would that mean to you to be a part of a community like that? I also do group coaching sessions twice a month. I absolutely love the group coaching model. I am an introvert, so the first time that I did this model myself, I was freaked out of my mind about asking questions and being coached in the midst of a group setting. But what I found is that not only was I retained things so much better because I was in this like nervousness state, but also having the courage to do something that was outside of my comfort zone to get to where I wanted to be. So the things that I learned during that time solidified. I didn't feel like I needed to take a ton of notes. But then also, after I was done sharing, I was able to hear all of the other people be coached at the same time. And so you're getting like quadruple the amount of coaching because you're hearing what other people are going through, which most likely is something that you have gone through yourself, or you will in the future. And that'll be another little tool in your tool belt to be able to work through challenges. So the thought behind that is that you can come with anything in mind that you want to be coached through in your life. It could be a challenge that you're going through. It could be just a little tweak. It could be, this is how my life is, help me organize it sort of thing. So I'm really here for you. That is really one of the biggest values outside the vision board course, is the ability to have essentially that one-on-one coaching with me on a twice a month, or yeah, 2 times a month basis, so that you can really escalate and accelerate your growth into who you want to be. And the value of that is $300. And then we also have your monthly toolkit. So you can think of it as a Substack if you're familiar with that, but essentially it is content, resources, trainings that are exclusive to members of the club, and you'll be getting that email on a monthly basis. And then there are emails that are sent throughout the month, or different opportunities throughout the month that you can take advantage of that are only exclusive to the club. So my hope is that I'll bring in different outside people in order to do different opportunities, different specialized training or coaching sessions, so that you really feel like you have a plethora of information. This is kind of like your big, huge toolbox that you go to so that you can feel supported all month long, because the reality is our life changes from month to month, week to week, day to day, and different things come up. We feel different at different times of the month. And so by having this toolkit, it will give you the ability to feel supported regardless of what you're are going through. And it won't take up much mental space. It's not you trying to find a book or a podcast to listen to. All you'll need to do is open up that email, open up the club, and your resources will be there for you. An example of some exclusive things that are happening with members of the club is that recently I did a webinar on the 4 steps to feeling confident every day. And that is it is open to the public for a very limited amount of time. And in that webinar, I also gave a resource of a daily tracker of how to track those 4 steps, how to set yourself up for success every single day. And that's only available a limited time for the public. But if you're a member in the club, you have access to that unlimited access as long as you have an active membership. So that is also the benefit, is that you'll always have access to things that I share in other places. And again, it's that resource and ability to have things that support you. All right, and then for this month only, so through June 29th, I am offering founding member pricing for those that join the club before June 29th. The pricing will go up on June 30th, and so I really don't want you to miss out. The special pricing is $15 a month, or you can choose to pay yearly instead of monthly and pay $150, which will give you 2 months for free, which is amazing. It is really powerful, whether it's a monthly or a yearly commitment that you're making for yourself, that you're making to better yourself, because subconsciously you're telling yourself that you matter, that you're going to prioritize yourself, you're going to set yourself up for success with the accountability and the community to keep you on track to becoming the person that you want to be. And so I'd really encourage you to make that commitment. And the special thing about founders is that you are going to be part of an exclusive group that really shapes what the club is going to look like. In my Q&As here, we'll quickly go here. Right here is, will anything else be offered in the future? So one thing is that as a founding member, you're going to be part of building this community, of creating the resources that you wish that you needed if you are already on your path of living unconventionally, or in the moment you're like, oh, I really wish I need help with this, and I would really wish that this was here. Like, we're going to be creating that together. And so this is a really fluid space that is ever changing and ever evolving. And so founding members will have exclusive access to me to be creating those resources as well. Like I mentioned, doing special partnerships with different individuals or companies that really accelerate your growth and support your overall personal growth. So you can think Clifton Strengths. I'm currently speaking with someone who's a Clifton Strengths coach, and so we're working on providing something for the club members in order to just be able to help you align with who you are and really focus in on what your strengths are and see them as strengths, not weaknesses, if that's something that you struggle with. Another thing that I am in the midst of planning is retreats, both domestically and abroad. So there will be limited spots for those retreats that will be offered to members of the club first. And if there are any available spots left after that, then I will extend it to the public and different channels that I have. But really, these retreats are going to be very experience focused. They're going to be a very beautiful settings that I love curating experiences for people, and I love curating intentional experiences. So it will be that times 100. And then we'll also be doing like different things that help create connection. So of course there'll be people in the club, but different community and connection opportunities, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, different spaces to build in rest and reflection. And really it's just to be that getting out of your environment and then being in this really special place so that you can continue to connect back to yourself and connect to others. And then lastly, I'm going to go over just a couple more questions and then we'll do the demo really quick. So one of the questions that I get is, can I cancel? You can absolutely cancel at any time. However, there won't be any refunds for any payments that you made up until the time of cancellation. And then one thing to know, if you join as a founding member, that price is locked in as long as you're an active member. But if you decide to cancel and then sign back up in the future, regardless of the time frame that is, you will have to sign up at the current price, which like I mentioned, it will definitely be higher than it is until June 29th. Then lastly, I'm not sure if I'm unconventional enough to join. Is this still a good place for me? The short answer is yes, absolutely. Unconventional means being out of the ordinary. If at any point in your life you have felt on the outside, or that you have found yourself wanting a life that is different than the one that you're living, this is absolutely the place for you. And part of unconventional means that you're outside of the box, which means in turn that whatever your definition of unconventional is, that is your truth and that is welcome in this space. And like I said, my vision for this community is just a variety of different women, different walks of life, belief systems, experiences, all coming together with a spirit of curiosity, respect, and kindness. And we're cheering each other on in our own paths and walks of life. So hopefully that answers a couple of the main questions. Of course, you can always go to essentially lauren.com to sign up. I'm sure you've already been there, but I just wanted to reiterate that. And then we will get to sharing the little demo real quick, and then we'll be out of here. So I'm really grateful for the time that you guys have taken out to watch this recording. All right, so I'm going to be showing you my back office portion of the club, but it essentially looks the same. I just might have a couple of extra buttons. So let me just make sure it's sharing well. Okay. So this is the club. As soon as you sign up, this is what it's going to look like for you. And you'll be getting an email in your inbox that's like, oh my gosh, welcome. So glad that you're here. And a couple of steps in these posts will be linked, but we have a start here post that walks you through essentially what I had just described to you, what's available to you, where things are. And then we also have our community space where people can make introductions. There's a couple of prompts. What I really encourage in this space is for people to just come as their real selves, be open and honest and direct, and kind. And so I find that if we dive in deep in a vulnerable way, or in an authentic way, that creates connection quicker. And I know that I always value when people are open and honest and kind. And so I want everyone to feel that way as well. So encourage you to have those prompts. There's this really amazing question prompt that happens every single day in the club, where there's a question and then you can answer it. And as soon as you answer it, you can see everyone else's responses that day as well, which is really exciting. So over here on the side, we've got your community. We have the announcements. Right now, we just have the announcement for when you first join. And then we have the resources so for example, I just talked about the 4 steps to feeling confident every day webinar that I did. That's right here. Also, the tracker is right there. Both of these things are only available through the club. And then we've got our community space here where it has everything, being posted, but then also you can make your own posts. So here people are making their introductions for each other. And then in the content pillar is the vision board course. So as you can see, it'll look slightly different from your end, but as you can see, it is a great course. It has video components because I will not be teaching you directly. It is through video that I coach you through this process, but it's a really, really amazing experience that you have immediate access to. And then in the event section, so this is really amazing. So these are the group coaching sessions that are already scheduled out through August. And you can actually select, you can click that, you can select that you're attending, you can add to calendar, you'll get those reminders so you make sure that you don't miss out on what's happening. And then you can also see members on here. You can also communicate with you can send a message to anyone. So if you feel like in the community you're really connecting with someone, or you have a question or whatever it is, you can also message them directly, very similar to Facebook. So that's where we're at right now. It is obviously a growing and a changing thing, but I'm really excited about where the starting point is, and I know that you'll find value in the things that are already available, and I can't wait to continue building that out. So thank you so much for joining. Again, just a reminder, founding member pricing is only available through June 29th. So please, please, please do not miss out. do not message me on June 30th and be like, oh my gosh, I was trying to sign up and then I got distracted and I missed out, because unfortunately I can't make any exceptions. And so make sure that you plan ahead and get that member pricing as soon as possible. And if you have any questions, you can email me at lauren@essentiallylauren.com, or you can send me a direct message on Instagram at essentially_Lauren. Thanks so much. And I hope to see you in the club.